Making it big in music is a dream only a few people ever live out. But staying big? That's a whole different game. Some artists evolve. Others just can't let go of the spotlight. Today, we're talking about those who refuse to accept that their glory days might be behind them. And first up, French Montana. French used to run the charts back in the 2010s, dropping bangers like Pop That, Lockjaw, No Stylist, and of course Unforgettable. But here's the thing. Most fans weren't really tuning in for French himself. They wanted the big features. Names like Swae Lee and Drake carried those tracks. As time went on, things started slipping. Remember that photo Diddy posted with Jay-Z, Nas, and Kendrick? Yeah, French wasn't cropped out, he was photoshopped out. That one stung. Then came the dip. His 2019 album Montana didn't hit like the last one, and soon after, rumors spread online about suspicious streaming numbers. People on social media claimed their accounts were randomly playing his songs. Not a good look for the Stream King. And just when things couldn't get messier, French said something wild, that he had more hits than Kendrick Lamar. The internet roasted him for days. Fans dropped memes, threads, and jokes faster than you could refresh your feed. One meme even challenged people to name 5 French Montana songs without features. And the funniest part, French was the only one who could do it. After that, he went on a rant about how fans had amnesia and forgot all the hits he gave them, then dropped an album literally called They Got Amnesia. The problem? It felt more like denial than a comeback. More recently, he dropped Mac and Cheese 5, not once, not twice, but over and over again. Multiple versions, every song released as a single, and even a 100-plus track special edition. Some fans joked it looked like a cry for help, but even with all those gimmicks, the numbers just didn't move. At this point, French seems stuck trying to relive the fame instead of reinventing it. And the more he tries, the worse it looks. Before we move to the next artist real quick, if you love honest takes on music stories like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. It's free, it helps a ton, and it keeps you in the loop for the next drop. Alright, let's keep going. Lil Pump. Lil Pump was one of those rappers who skyrocketed out of nowhere.
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang.
Young, loud, and living like he'd cracked the cheat code to fame. Back in 2016 and 2017, he had the internet going crazy with tracks like D Rose and Boss. Then came Gucci Gang, the song that turned him into a household name. It hit number 3 on the Billboard charts and made him one of the faces of what people started calling mumble rap. But not everyone was impressed, especially J. Cole. The two had a playful back and forth after Pump threw some shade just to stir things up. Instead of firing back, Cole took the wiser route. In his 2018 track 1985, he basically told Pump, "Enjoy it while it lasts. The fame, the money, the hype. Because if you don't grow, it'll fade just as fast." And, well, he was right. After 2018, the numbers started slipping. Every new song sounded like the last. The energy was there, but the spark wasn't. Fans moved on, and Pump seemed to double down instead of switching things up. By 2020, he was making headlines more for stunts than songs, even showing up at a political rally just to stay in the spotlight. When asked a couple of years later if J. Cole's prediction came true, Pump brushed it off with confidence, saying, "I'm still here." And sure, he's still rich, but his 2023 album Lil Pump 2 didn't even chart. Critics roasted one track for trying to blend rap and rock, and not in a good way. At this point, it feels like J. Cole's prophecy wasn't just accurate, it was word for word. Pump had all the hype in the world but refused to evolve, and the music world moved right past him. Smokepurpp. Now, if you were around during the SoundCloud era, you definitely remember Smokepurpp, the guy who came up right beside Lil Pump. For a moment, they were unstoppable. Purpp had his own wave going with Audi and Dead Star, a mixtape that even landed him features from big names like Travis Scott and Chief Keef. He was on magazine covers, labeled The Next Big Thing, even got that XXL freshman spot in 2018. But soon after, it all started slipping away. The hits stopped coming, the buzz faded, and his freestyle on Tim Westwood, you know the one, became an internet meme for all the wrong reasons. Fans still joke about it to this day. Instead of accepting that the hype had cooled, Purpp tried to convince everyone he was still on top. He'd post saying his music was doing crazy numbers when the charts showed otherwise. When his Florida Jit album dropped, it sold just 5,000 copies, barely a blip on the radar. Not long after, videos started surfacing of him performing in front of crowds that looked like small birthday parties, maybe 20 people at best. People online couldn't resist clowning him. He responded by saying, "I didn't even have to do that show, but I wanted to give my fans something. It sounded nice." Until everyone realized it was part of his tour. Then came another low moment. Reports that he skipped a show entirely, leaving fans waiting in an empty venue. Over time, it became clear smokepurpp wasn't living the rockstar life anymore. There were even screenshots of him arguing with people over feature payments, asking for $10,000 one minute, then settling for $500 the next. That's not confidence, that's desperation. These days, he's been spotted making TikTok skits with Lil Pump, trying to go viral again. But it just feels off, like two guys still chasing a high that the internet already moved on from. YBN Nahmir.
They say, "Lil Nahmir, where you been at? I'm just passing the breeze. I've been running up a check, that's why these..."
And then there's YBN Nahmir, once one of the most promising young rappers in the game. He exploded with Rubbin' Off the Paint, a breakout hit that made him a star overnight. For a while, he was unstoppable, helping launch the whole YBN crew, including Almighty J and Cordae. But while Cordae took off and earned respect as a lyricist, Nahmir's music started losing its shine. As the hits slowed down, the internet's patience did too. His song Soul Train became a meme, mocked for its awkward sound and over-the-top auto-tune. It was meant to be soulful, but the reaction was brutal. And once the internet starts roasting you, it's hard to bounce back. Nahmir tried to stay cool through it all, saying things like, "I'm chilling, I've been viral my whole life." But the truth was showing in the numbers. He signed with Def Jam, dropped faster car music, and when it didn't perform, the label quietly moved on. By 2022, fans were calling him fallen off, but Nahmir wasn't having it. When streamer Aiden Ross offered him $20,000 to step into a boxing ring, Nahmir asked for $100,000 instead. Aiden laughed it off, saying the promo alone would have boosted Nahmir's career. That's when things spiraled. Nahmir went online showing off his plaques, bragging about his net worth, even pulling up his Google results like that proved something. But the internet wasn't buying it. People joked he was the first rapper ever to flex his Google net worth. And just when you thought it couldn't get more awkward, he started charging fans $3 to DM him. Later, he offered artist development packages, promising to fly fans out, get them studio time, and even make them go platinum. It sounded more like desperation than opportunity. It's wild to see how fame can twist people up. One day, you're the face of a generation. The next, you're fighting memes, rumors, and your own ego. For French Montana, Lil Pump, smokepurpp, and YBN Nahmir, the story's the same. When the lights dimmed, they just couldn't admit it. And instead of stepping back to reinvent, they tried to relive the moment. But fame doesn't rewind. It just moves on. If you've made it this far, you clearly love stories like this. The rise, the fall, and everything in between. So, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next one. We've got more wild music stories, more behind-the-scenes drama, and more deep dives into the artists who shaped the culture, for better or worse. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Comment below. Which artist's fall surprised you the most? Let's talk about it in the comments.